The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's roleplay session with your host, James McDonald.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome. Good morning. How is everybody? Andrea, how are you?
I'm great.
Oh, you didn't expect me to ask you that or what?
No.
Welcome to our role-play session. And yeah, we're going to talk about the universal callback script. We're going to do role-playing. We're going to take any and all of your follow-up related questions, anything that you want to discuss involving the universal callback script. That's why we're here. So we'll spend about an hour, what have you, and we will do that. Now, before we do though, a couple things. Tomorrow is our is our ad clinic session. So any ads that you'd like us to take a look at, now's your big chance. Make sure you upload them, and Craig and I tomorrow will take a look at every single one of the ad campaigns that you send in for us to take a look at, and we'll give you some suggestions as to what you might want to try or what looks good, what you might want to scrap completely, and et cetera and so forth. So please make sure that you do that. Also, you all know that for those of you that are on the West Coast, coming up on Friday, come on, help me out here, Andrea. Coming up on 24th is our boot camp. Yeah, our Huntington Beach boot camp. So you're going to spend the entire day with us, and it's going to be great. And it'll really clarify a lot of things for you. For those of you that have attended boot camp, you all. It's the familiar refrain is that it's a really good day to sort of get all your questions answered and really get clarity with what you're doing. So don't miss it. Make sure that you let us know that you're coming, as most of you have, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody in Huntington Beach. Okay, now, before we get started here with taking volunteers for role-playing, I wanted to respond to somebody that I was speaking with. We did a speaking engagement Craig had in Las Vegas for the Mastermind Summit on Tuesday, and we had several of our students that were there. And anyway, I was in conversation with one, and I was asking them, how it's going, and we inevitably got talking about lead conversion, and more specifically, challenges with lead follow-up. Of which, the reason that we do these webinars every single week is because there are challenges with this, and that's the whole point. And one of the things that we got talking about was getting an objection very early in the conversation, merely about the fact that you're calling somebody. And I just want to make sure that this is a thing of the past. This is something that should have been addressed and should have been remedied long ago, no matter how new you might be to the system. Okay, I'll tell you this right now. If you follow up with a prospect and they answer the phone, okay, if they don't answer the phone, that's a different issue, and we can look at that. But if the prospect is answering the phone and immediately they're objecting to you even calling them, okay, you're doing something wrong, and I'm going to explain exactly what that is right now. Okay, watch this. If you call and have not differentiated yourself from a telemarketer, the prospect is going to treat you the way you treat a telemarketer. Okay, now think about this. Your phone rings. You make the fatal mistake of answering the call even though you don't know who it is that's calling you. And when you answer that call, it's a damn telemarketer. And what does the telemarketer say? They say, "Oh, hi," and they might ask for you, or they ask for a name that's, had that phone number 7 years ago or some ridiculous thing like that. And inevitably they say something like, "How are you doing today?" And what we do is we say, "I'm really busy, I'm not interested, bye-bye." And boom, hang up. All in one fell swoop. We get rid of them immediately. And we know this. Now, here's what we need to understand is when we call the prospect, at what point do they not feel like we're a telemarketer cold calling them? At what point? Because if they feel like we're a telemarketer, you understand that they are itching to hang up the phone on you. They're dying to for a little space of silence so they can interject and say, "I'm not interested, goodbye," and hang up. That's exactly what's going to happen. So this is not an afterthought. This is vitally important that you very clearly articulate that the reason you're calling is because they requested real estate information from you, and that you wanted to let them know that that real estate information has been prepared and sent to them. Is that okay? And there isn't anything more important than making sure that very clearly and concisely and immediately those words are spoken to the prospect. Because if you do it any other way, because you're really good at talking to people. Yeah, but nobody's good at talking to people that don't want to talk to you. They're going to walk away. They're going to hang up the phone. So it's a one-way street. Yeah, I'm really good at talking to people. Not if they hang up the phone on you. Not going to work. So watch this. Here's the difference. Oh, hi, Mrs. Smith. It's James calling with Remax Omega. How are you today? Have I differentiated myself in any way from a telemarketer? Answer, no. You're a real estate salesperson bothering somebody. And as soon as you say, how are you, there is going to be that moment of silence where they're going to say, oh, I'm really not interested, dear. Thank you. Bye. Gone. Or 10 times more rude than that is more likely scenario. Okay, so I needed to be very clear. Hi, Mrs. Smith. It's James McDonald with Remax Omega calling. And the reason I'm calling is because I received your request for the area home sales report on our website last night. And I wanted to give you a quick courtesy call and let you know I did prepare and email you that information last night. I hope that's okay, Mrs. Smith. Totally different. Now, not only does it sound like the call's over, but I've completely differentiated myself from a telemarketer. I'm calling because you now. Here's how our conversation went. They said, our student said, yeah, but sometimes even though I do that, they still say, I didn't expect a realtor to call me, or I'm really busy right now. Okay, listen, here's what I want you to do. Okay, there are two key points here. Okay, the first is this. Most of the time, the prospect is simply making an observation that they weren't expecting a realtor to call them. That's an observation. Don't confuse an observation with an objection. Now, sometimes it legitimately is an objection. What they're saying is, well, then why don't you just send the information? Like, you know, what? They're not going to come out and say it this way, but what they're objecting to is the fact that a salesperson is calling them. A realtor is calling me. All that means you need to do is reiterate the reason you're calling. So watch this. Hey, Mrs. Smith, it's James with Remax Omega calling. The reason I'm calling is because I received your request last night on my website for the area home sales report, and I just wanted to give you a quick courtesy call and let you know I did put that information together and email it to you. I hope that's okay, Mrs. Smith. Now, Mrs. Smith says, oh, well, I wasn't looking for a realtor to call me. And I take it as it being more of an objection than an observation. I don't want to talk to you. I wasn't interested in a realtor calling me. So I simply say, Mrs. Smith, I was only calling as a courtesy to let you know that I did, in fact, receive the request that you put in, and I did put together that information for you. I wanted to let you know that it should be sitting in your email inbox right now. I hope that's okay, Mrs. Smith. Very difficult for her not to be appreciative of the fact that I did what she asked me to do. It's completely disarming. Okay, so I know this is like Universal Script 101, but if you're not doing that, you got to understand the rest of your conversation is not going to go well if you're talking to somebody that has no appreciation for your phone call. For the reason you're calling, which is that they requested information that you provided them with. You were looking for access. I just want to call and let you know you have full, complete access to all properties for sale on my website. I just want to let you know that I've set you up with that. I hope that's okay, Mr. Smith. And you know what? 8 times out of 10, Mr. Smith's going to say, oh, yeah, cool, thank you. But on the 2 out of 10 occasions where they say, oh, yeah, no, I wasn't looking for a realtor to call me. Oh, that's okay, Mr. Smith. I'm just calling as a courtesy to let you know I received your request for access to the properties on my website. I just wanted to let you know that I've given you that access. I hope that's okay. And using the word courtesy is a great tip. It's a very disarming word that perfectly describes the purpose of our call. It is a courtesy. We could even further elaborate if we wanted to. Mr. Smith, you know, a lot of requests these days get lost in cyberspace, and you might go onto numerous websites and request information and absolutely get nothing from those requests. They just, you know, fall off into cyberspace somewhere. So the reason for my call is to let you know that I did in fact get your request, and I did process what you were looking for, and it should be sitting in your email inbox right now. I hope that's okay. And the reason that we want to say, I hope that's okay, is because we want to elicit a reaction of appreciation from the prospect. Even if they say, yeah, great, thanks. It is much easier conversation with somebody that just said thank you than somebody who isn't appreciative. It makes the rest of the conversation so much easier. That's why we do it. There is a reason for every word in that script that Craig invented. So I wanted to share that sort of dialogue and that answer with everybody in the group before we get started here in earnest this morning. So having said that, Andrea, I understand we have some volunteers and some questions in the queue as well, so maybe we can get started with that with whatever we've got.
We do. We have lots of volunteers. Our first of which is Graham Ayers. Your telephone line is now open.
Hello, Graham.
Graham?
Graham.
Okay. We'll go on to Greg Shelton. Your mic is now open.
Dick!
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. This is Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm excellent. You're a lot louder than Graham, I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
How are you today, Greg?
I'm great, man. How about yourself?
I'm very, very good. And what would you like to do this morning?
First-time buyer, please.
Okay. So I requested information on what? A list of properties in a first-time value market price range? Okay,
Yes.
so ring. Hello?
Okay, hi. Is Mr. McDonald the home?
Yeah. Who's this?
Oh, this is Greg Shelton with Weichman Realty. I received a request for information from you last night on my website, Orange Homes for Info for free, and I put that together in an email to you, sent it over. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was on a bunch of websites. I didn't really want a realtor to call me. I thought I wasn't going to get a call from a realtor.
Oh, I'm freezing up. Sorry.
Okay. So watch. Okay, this is what we just discussed. All I want you to do.
Why am I nervous? Why am I nervous?
Well, here's why. Because what you're doing right now isn't the same as what you're doing when you're calling a prospect and there are, a couple hundred people listening. That's the difference. All right.
Okay.
So no, don't worry. Try to put that out of your mind. It's hard, but try to put it out of your mind. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reiterate again that the only reason you're calling is to let me know that you received my request and you've provided it, and I want you to say, I hope that's okay. That's it. Just reiterate what you just said. So I said, I didn't want a realtor calling me. I didn't want to give my information for a realtor to call me. We're not ready for that right now. And you would say what to that?
Well, I'm just sending you over information that you requested from my site. So I hope that was okay.
Okay. I think you can do better than that, Greg, but that's a start. That's a start. Here's what I want you to say. I want you to say this. Greg, I'm just calling as a courtesy to let you know that I did get your request for those properties, and I'm only calling to let you know I did put that list together and email it to you. It should be sitting in your email inbox. I hope that's okay.
Okay. All right.
Describe, like two human beings talking to one another. Just tell me, and I bet you that 9 times out of 10, that very prospect will say, yeah, I got that. Thank you. Or, oh, yeah, that's good. Thank you. Okay, so now let's move on. So I say, yeah, that's okay, Greg. Thanks.
Okay. So are you folks planning on moving in the next 3 to 6 months?
We're just looking.
Okay. Well, do you currently rent or do you own your own home?
Yeah, we're new to the area, so we're just trying to figure out where we want to live.
Oh, but are you renting or do you own?
Yeah. No, we're renting.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you were planning on moving, would you stay in the area or move out of the area?
No, we're staying in the area. Yeah, this is where we live. We're looking here. As a matter of fact, on your website, I gave the areas that we're interested in.
Okay, great. Okay. So if you were to move, when do you think that might be?
I don't know. We're looking around. We're going to find the right place. It'll probably, sometime in the next 6 months, maybe.
Okay. All right. Do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
No, we're not there yet. No, we don't.
Okay. Well, I could email you daily updates of homes that match your criteria. That comes from all the real estate companies, bank foreclosures, pocket listings, company-owned properties, or other distress sales. It's a free service, and of course, you're never obligated to buy anything. Would that interest you?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at your list right now. Just on my computer here, I can see that you've sent me some properties to look at here. So yeah, no, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, so can we get together for about 15, 20 minutes so I can take down exactly what you're looking for?
Well, it looks like you've already sent me the properties that match what I'm looking for right here. I kind of told you on my website, you know, what price range and stuff like that we were looking for. So maybe I'll just poke around at some of these properties here, and if I need some more, I'll give you a call or shoot you an email. Is that okay?
Well, if we could sit down together, I could do a much better job for you rather than emailing you a bunch of properties that you might not be interested in, and you might risk missing out on that perfect one. If we can get together for a few minutes, I have some stuff that I take down and kind of hone what you're looking for specifically tailored to your needs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty busy. Maybe that's something that we could do when I'm a little closer. In the meantime, you know, I'll look at these properties and see if there's anything here that's of interest, and if so, I'll give you a call, Greg.
Okay. Well, can I send you my my monthly newsletter? That'll keep you up to date on what's going on the marketplace.
Yeah. No, for sure. Please.
Okay. Very good. Well, hey, you have a great day, and it was great talking to you.
Okay, Greg, few things here that are details that make all the difference in the world. I'm gonna start backwards while everything's fresh in my head. Okay, the first thing is this. If you are going to make me the newsletter offer, the whole purpose of it is for me to tell you when to follow up with me again. Okay?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I missed that. Yep, you're right.
It is the only reason we offer the newsletter, okay? The only reason we offer the newsletter is to say, hey, Greg, I got this smoking awesome newsletter. It's full of great market statistics and information. You're going to find it really helpful. I do it every month. Would you like me to send it out to you? It's free. You say yes. I say good. And would it be okay if I followed up with you, gave you a call when you're a little closer to doing something? You say, yeah, sure, that's okay. I say, when would be a good time? And I listen really carefully to what you tell me, because you might say, I don't know, give me a call in a couple weeks. All right, good, because I was going to call you in 2 months, so I'm glad you said that. Okay, now, that's one thing. But here's really what I want to back up to, all right? What you need to do is you need to hone your skills with differentiating the offer that you're making them now with what you've already sent them. Okay, so watch this. Okay. I sent you a list of first-time buyer properties that you requested, and it's sitting in your email inbox. I've already done that. You have a list from me of homes that I've emailed to you. Okay, now I'm making you an offer to send you more homes. So the offer that I make you now needs to be way better than what I've already sent you. So watch this. Here's essentially what you said. Hey, Greg, I know I already sent you a list of properties, and the properties were of first-time home buyer, available homes that match what you were looking for, and they're sitting in your email inbox right now. But would you also like me to send you a list of those properties as well? It's like, okay. No. In other words, there's nothing really compelling about that. I've already got a list of properties from you. Thank you. I'm not compelled by that in any way, unless we do a better job of differentiating it, of saying, look, here's what we're going to do. Instead of saying what I'd like to do for you, here's how we're going to approach this. I'm going to say, Greg, would you like me to email you every day all of the homes as they come on the market that match exactly what you're looking for? What I have access to aren't just MLS properties or my own listings, but all the properties, private listings, pocket listings, bank foreclosures, company owned, all the great deals as they come on the market. I can set it up so that they are immediately emailed to you right away. And best part, it's free. There's no obligation. Would you like me to set you up on that?
The priority notification, right?
You say those words. You say it like that, and the prospect will hear something very different than, Hey, I know I already sent you a list, but do you want a list? Right? It makes
Right.
no sense. I've already sent you a list, and now I'm saying, hey, would you like to receive a list? It's like, shit, yeah, yes, I did receive a list. You've already done that. So make sure that you're doing that. I am telling you, you're going to see that it's going to make a tremendous difference. When the prospect understands the benefit of what you're offering, getting the prospect to be compelled by that offer is so much easier than when they feel like, well, I don't know, some list, you sent me a list, it's great. Okay, here's the other thing. You need to make sure that I understand that this is a free appointment and there's no obligation attached to it, which you did not do.
Okay.
I listened very intently. So I want you to write those few things down. Just see, here's the crazy part. All of these things that I'm sharing with you, Greg, that I'm noting here, they're all just little details. Like 90% of the script and your conversation with me is great. It's the details though that make the difference. So
Right.
all I'm pointing out are these are little details that I want you to become second nature in your script, and you'll see immediately that you'll book appointments without any opposition. It'll be so much easier.
Okay.
But if the prospect feels like there's a cost, they're going to be reluctant. If the
No,
prospect
right.
feels
I agree with you.
obligated,
Yeah.
they'll be reluctant. If the prospect feels like what you're offering them is no different than what you've already sent, well, they'll be reluctant to book an appointment. So all of these things are really, really important. And here's the deal. We want you guys booking appointments. We want you to have an appointment or 2 or 3 every day, because you can. If you're generating buyer leads especially, you can book a buyer appointment every damn day. And as a matter of fact, what will begin to happen is you're going to book appointments with people you shouldn't, because it's easy. And when they meet with you, you're going to go, oh my God, I'm meeting with somebody that is in no danger of being able to or wanting to buy a home. But I booked the appointment because I could. Right? I mean, that happens all the time. So anyway, just some food for thought. So jot those things down and work on those things. And also, I do take into account that, yeah, volunteering to do it in this kind of a forum is a little nerve-wracking. So your brain is not fully engaged in what you're doing sometimes.
It's weird because I'll role play with my friends and nail it, but that's okay. That's why I'm on here, and thanks for coaching me up good, too. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Greg.
Our next guest, Craig Bush, your mic is now open.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, James.
Craig, how are you today? Does it sound very Craigish?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Is this Colleen?
Yes, it is.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So how are you today, Colleen?
Doing well. Just wanted to hone the skills on the bold leads. So we get a lot of bold leads, and they're always just curious.
Is it primarily online home evaluations?
That's right.
Okay. All right. So I'm somebody that was on, maybe it came from Facebook primarily, right?
That's right.
Okay. So I was on Facebook, scrolling through Facebook, looking to see what my friends had for lunch, and I come across an ad that says, find out what your home is worth online, or something to that effect. And I burn the calorie, and I click on the ad, and I put in my address and whatever other information, step at a time, it's asking for. By the way, I will say this about bold leads, Colleen, and I hope you'll echo this as well. They are really good at lead generation. They really do. They really do a good job. And it does vary from market to market, but generally speaking, I find that when people invest in bold leads, they generate leads pretty damn quickly from it.
Yes, that's for sure. They do.
Yeah. So, okay, so ring, hello.
Hi, is James in?
Yeah, who's this?
Oh, hi, James. It's Colleen Bush phoning from REMAX. Just following up on your request for evaluation of your home at 233 Brook Road. We're just in the process of sending that out by email, so you should have that shortly. Would that be okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Great. And James,
you kind of caught me off guard here, Colleen. I didn't expect a realtor to call.
Okay. Are you planning on making a move, James, in the next 3 to 6 months?
We're thinking about it.
Okay. If you were to move, James, would you be staying in the same area or moving out?
Yeah, be staying in the same area.
Okay. And ideally, if you could wave a magic wand, do you have a time frame in mind that you'd like to be in your new place?
Well, it depends on how much we could get for this place and what we find. So there are a couple of factors, I guess. We're just, I mean, it's early. We're just, gathering information, really.
Okay. And do you have an agent to help you with your plans if you are making that move?
We've met a couple realtors. At open houses. The realtor that sold us this place isn't in the business anymore, so we know them, but they're not a realtor. But other than that, no, not really. As I said, we're just gathering information right now and looking around. So.
Okay. Well, what we could do to help you, if you'd like, again, would you prefer to buy your house first, or would you like to sell your home first? Do you have a preference there?
Well, no. I mean, obviously, we'd have to do both at the same time.
Okay. Well, James, to let you know, what we did was we sent out a snapshot of what was going on in your neighborhood, which gives you a general idea. But what we can do is we can pop by your place, take a look at your home, and while we're there, we can give you a more accurate assessment as to what your home would sell for in today's market. And while we're there, we give you some tips, what to do, what not to do in order to get top dollar for your home on the market, and go over the various closing costs just so you know exactly what's left in your pocket to buy the next home. And at the same time, we can set that up so that we can take down your criteria, what's important in your new home that you're looking for, and then get you set up so you can start receiving daily updates from all the different real estate companies. And that list would include bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, distressed sales. It's absolutely free. And, of course, you're never obligated to buy or sell. Would this be helpful for you, James?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it absolutely would.
Okay. And James, we're flexible days, evenings, weekends. Would tomorrow or Friday work for you? Or Friday or Saturday work for you?
Probably, but I better speak to my wife about it first, just to make sure that that's cool. I don't want her freaking out on me.
All right, understandable. Well, just while I have you on the phone, if you want it, we could certainly just tentatively set something up that you think might work. And if not, I'll be sending you an email with our phone number and our email address. So if it doesn't work, you can just give us a quick call or email just saying, you know what, we need to reschedule. Would Saturday work for you, Saturday morning or afternoon?
Yeah, probably morning, any time after, say, 9:30 would probably be fine.
Okay, so how about we set it up for 10 o'clock, and I'll send you an email confirming our appointment at your home for Saturday at 10 o'clock. And again, what we're going to do is when we come over, we'll be looking at your home, doing an evaluation so that you know exactly what you'd be getting for your home in today's market, and then going over some of the tips, what you're going to get to get your home prepared, as well as getting you set up. So it will be a very valuable time for you. And at that point, you'll have the buy and sell information. So we look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning at 10, and if there's any changes, don't hesitate to give us a call or email.
Awesome. Okay, and I would also reiterate there, again, cannot reiterate this enough, and just remember it's free. I'm not going to hit you up for money or obligate you in any way. In other words, you don't want to get a phone call from me saying, yeah, we need to postpone that or we need to change that. And that would happen if I felt like maybe there's like a cost to this, or this is some kind of trick and you're going to obligate me to do something that I don't want to do. So if you could leave that with me as the final thought in my head,
Yes.
And don't forget, this is absolutely free. There's no obligation. If that's what I'm left with, it makes it a lot less likely that I'm going to call you to cancel or postpone or what have you.
Yeah, that's a great point. Free.
Okay. So
Thank you.
Colleen, a couple of things that I jotted down here that I think are really important. Okay. First of all, in the very beginning, before we started here this morning, I talked about the introduction and the fact that it isn't unusual that 2 out of 10 times a prospect is either going to make an objection or an observation that a realtor is calling them, and that on those occasions where they reference, I wasn't expecting a call from a realtor, it is more often an observation than it is an objection. So I tried to make it really clear to Colleen that I was just making an observation. Colleen said, it's Colleen with REMAX. You'd requested a home evaluation, and I'm following up to let you know I'm preparing all that information. I hope that's okay. And I said, oh, you kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting a call from a realtor. That's called an observation. That's not an objection. So you don't need to overcome anything. So that was perfect. The way you handled that was absolutely perfect. Okay, now, there is a key question in the script that helps us figure out the motivation of the prospect, whether it's more to the buy side or to the sell side. Okay, now what you ended up doing was pretty smart, and I'll talk about that in a second, but I want everybody else to kind of see this analysis. Okay, the question is, would you prefer to buy first or sell first? Now, very often when we ask that question, we aren't given a satisfactory answer. In other words, the prospect might misunderstand the question, and or we might misunderstand their answer. What we're really asking is this: would you rather look around and find a home before your present home is for sale? That's really the question that we're asking them. And the reason we're asking that is because what we want to know is which would be a better offer for you. The buyer offer to help you look, or booking a CMA so you can get a more accurate assessment or determination of what your home would sell for, as well as all the other benefits. That's what we're really trying to figure out, is how would I be better to meet with you? What would be more compelling to you, the buyer offer or the seller offer? So that's why we're asking that question. Now, I want everybody to notice what Colleen wound up doing was both, which is appropriate, because essentially what I answered was, well, you know, we're early, we are looking around. So making me the buyer offer would be good, because I told you we're looking around. We've looked at properties. We're staying in the area. But you also know clearly we're gathering information on our own home. You know that by virtue of the fact that I requested on your website, through your bold leads, I requested an evaluation. So you also know that there's motivation there for more information on my home. So what Colleen did was she made both offers, and I thought did a really good job of that. I know that, of course, we record all of these webinars, so anybody that wants to go back and listen to the way Colleen did that, what Colleen suggested was, look, if I can take a look at your property, we can give you an accurate evaluation to determine what it would more likely sell for accurately, but we can also, you know, discuss helpful tips, go over closing costs, all that stuff. And while we're there, we can also set you up to receive properties that match what you're looking for the moment they come on the market. We'll include bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, distress sales. It's free. There's no obligation. Would that be of interest to you? We're flexible, days, evenings, weekends. Book the appointment. What we refer to that as is a 2-in-1 appointment. Okay, now there's something else that Colleen did there that I think is valuable for everybody. Once we established the appointment, Colleen reiterated what we're going to be doing on the appointment. And I'll tell you, that's really important to do that, because we want the prospect between now and Saturday, which is when we book the appointment, we want the prospect to make sure that they don't get cold feet and forget why this appointment is happening at 10 o'clock on Saturday. We want it to be very clear and concise as to why. So Colleen takes that time to say, all right, so just to reiterate, Saturday morning, we're going to give you an accurate evaluation, take a look at your property, give you some ideas as to things that you may or want to or not want to do, and we're going to take down your criteria. Remember, there's no cost to it at all. You're not obligated to buy a home or anything like that. We'll see you Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Those are all really important little details that will help a great deal. So, Colleen, that was really good, and I want to thank you for volunteering. I know you've been doing this for some time now. Is there anything that you find is happening that is with the bold leads that maybe you don't find with others? Because you'd mentioned that you're having some challenges with the bold leads. What is it specifically that you're finding?
Well, it just to even make the offer, I find that I'm almost making an offer and just giving them the, you know, we can help you with this, and, you know, giving them the newsletter, and, you know, finding out when I can follow up again. So, you know, I think a lot of times it's the timing. You know, when are you going to be available? And I know I've asked that once before, and it's the wording that I get sometimes people just think I'm talking about the time of day. So, and I know it. Would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time? And so sometimes I have to repeat that a couple of times to be able to really let them know that I'm talking about a time frame, not a date. You know what I mean? But anyway, but
here's something that I'm gonna suggest is that I bet you that of all these bold leads, it maybe would be appropriate to book an appointment with 2 out of 10 on the first occasion that you talk to them. Maybe 2 out of 10. The other 8 out of 10 are long-term follow-up. That's the reality of it. So if you have that mindset going in that of 10 leads that you follow up with from bold leads, it's probable that maybe 2 of the 10 are going to be suitable to book an appointment with now. Now, I'll go even a step further. With those 2 out of 10 where it would be suitable to book the appointment now, half the time it's as a buyer, not as a seller.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So, and this is why it can get skewed, because if your mindset is, well, they're requesting evaluations, I'm going to offer them evaluation, so 10 out of 10 of them I'm going to offer an evaluation. Yes, your offer is going to fall on deaf ears by virtue of the fact that these people that were responding weren't actively looking for real estate information. They were just on Facebook. That's all. They were just innocently, like everybody else, they were just on Facebook. They didn't go to a real estate publication. They didn't Google search real estate information. They weren't actively doing anything to find real estate information. They were minding their own business. They saw a message. It compelled them. So, but because of that, we're going to get prospects that are interested. They wouldn't have asked for the information had they not been interested, but they're early in the process. So, as I said, maybe 2 out of 10 times it'll be appropriate to book the appointment immediately, but 8 out of 10 times, yeah, you're talking about longer term follow-up. And so making an offer for the newsletter is exactly what you want to do. You know, I send out a monthly newsletter, and it's full of great market information. If the upcoming weeks and months, or however long it is before you decide to make your move, it'll be really helpful for you, and it's free. Would you like that? Yes. When would be a good time for me to follow up with you? When you might be a little closer to making your move. That's how you want to say it. Okay. So that way they're not thinking about a time of day. If I say, what would be a good time for me to follow up with you? Well, that's incomplete. They're like, 3:30. Right?
Yes. Exactly. I think that's the key, what you said, closer to your move is the key phrase there. Yeah, absolutely. I'm writing it down.
If I said, Colleen, when would be a good time for me to follow up with you when you're a little closer to making your move? That's different.
Yes,
right?
that's excellent. Thank you.
All right, so give that a shot. All right, awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Could I just ask one other quick question? So when I'm following up on the follow-up of the bold lead, again, it just seems like, like I've already talked to them, and now I'm following up. So, ring, James, I'm just following up just to see how your plans are coming along. I know we talked about 2 months ago, regarding your real estate plans. Are you planning on making that move in the next 3 to 6 months now?
Exactly.
And
what you want to do, here's what you want to do. You want to reiterate that they've already told you certain information. In other words, I don't want to say, if the prospect said, well, yeah, we're looking, we're looking for something on the golf course, probably, closer to the summertime. And I had that conversation with them in February. Okay, now it's June. All right. I don't want to say to them, are you thinking about making a move in the next 3 to 6 months, and have them say, no, not at all. And then I have to say, well, you did mention you were looking for a property on the golf course, Mr. Liar. Right?
Yeah.
I want to make it easy. I want to make it easy for them to come clean and share with me what their motivation is. So, in other words, your conversation is more like this. Hey, Colleen, when I spoke with you back in February, you mentioned that you were interested in something on the golf course, but probably closer to the summertime. Is that still what your plans are? Have you been looking around at all?
Sure. Yeah, I'm still looking.
Right. So, in other words, don't deny that that's what you were looking for. And I might say this: Are you only interested in golf course properties? Are you open to other areas now?
Right. Okay.
Like, cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag. You already told me when I spoke with you back in February what what you were looking for or what your motivations are. So we can go beyond that now. And then I'm going to get into the questions, are you interested in looking for something before you put your own home on the market, whatever. But we're going to go through the questions. Do you have a realtor to help you? Any of those questions. Because here's what might happen now. Now versus February, it might be appropriate to say this. Hey, listen, it is very likely, Colleen, that the golf course property that you're looking for isn't on the market today. It's just not. But it is going to be. Now, this is critical. The moment that property is available, you need to be among the very first that know that property is available for sale. If you aren't, you're going to miss out on it. Would you like me to email you those properties as they come on the market that match exactly what you're looking for on the golf course? I'll include all the properties, private sales, pocket listings, any distress sales, all the various real estate companies. The moment it comes on the market, it'll be sitting in your email inbox for free. There's no charge. There's no obligation. Would that make your search helpful?
Absolutely.
Good. When can we get together for 15 minutes to take down exactly what golf course properties you're looking for so I can do a super good job for you? It's absolutely free. There's no obligation. What's better? Something in the evening, during the day? What's good for you?
I'm free right now.
Good.
I want a good deal.
Yeah. Right. So the second or in subsequent follow-up calls, what you have to do is reiterate the information that they already told you the first time. Otherwise, what they may do is shut you down and pretend they're a non-prospect, and we want to nip that in the bud. Right? We want to say, look, we already know. We talked to you in February. We already know what your motivation is, so we don't need to start all over again with that. So you just need to do some reiterating of what you discussed the first time you spoke with them. That's a great question.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Who's next, Andrea?
Our next guest is Michael Garcia. Your mic is now open.
Hi, James.
Hello, Michael. How are you today?
All right. Hi, this is actually Gerald, a student of Michael. Yeah, I'm doing okay. How about you?
Good. What are we going to do today, Gerald?
All right. I just wanted you to be a buyer who requested information from one of our websites.
Okay. So that's what I am. I'm a buyer that requested information from one of your websites, and I guess I'll find out what information that is when you call me. So ring, ring. Hello?
Hi, James. Hi, James.
Hi. Who's
Hi,
this?
this is Gerald. Yep, this is Gerald with the Garcia Real Estate team. And the reason I'm calling is because I recently received your request for a list of homes that are for sale. And as a courtesy, I wanted to let you know that I'm preparing the information now, and I'll be sending this to you in an email. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah. What information was it again?
A list of homes that are for sale in the Bay Area.
Yeah. Okay. I've been on a few different websites, so I've been getting properties from other realtors and stuff like that.
I see. All right, got it. And are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
We're thinking about it. Yeah, we're just looking around right now, seeing what's available. It's pretty expensive here.
Okay. All right. Well, do you currently rent, or do you own the place you're living?
No, we rent.
You're renting. Okay. And are you going to be staying in the area, or are you going to be moving out?
Well, I mean, it depends on what we can afford. So, yeah, we've got a few different places in mind. So we're kind of open to that.
All right. So it has something to do with the cost of the house. All right. And when exactly do you think this might be?
We're just looking right now, so no hurry.
All right. Okay. Well, just curious. Say you'd be able to find that property you're looking for now or soon. Are you going to be in the position to buy it?
No, not today, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if the perfect property came up, in the next sort of month or so, yeah, we would buy it. But we're just getting our finances in order, and we're trying to find the right property. We're seeing what house prices are doing and stuff like that. We're looking at different areas, so we're just gathering information, and then when the time is right, we'll pull the trigger.
All right, got it. And do you
So
have a realtor to help?
any properties you can send us is great. You know, we're getting properties from other realtors and stuff, so that's cool.
Great. All right. I'm not so sure as to what kind of listings or emails, notifications you're getting. But yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and set you up to receive daily updates of homes that match your home buying criteria from all real estate companies. Our list also includes bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, distressed sales, pocket listings, private listings. This is all free, and you're under no obligations. Is this something you'll find really helpful?
Yeah. So do I get those on your website, or how does that work?
Okay. Good question. What we normally do is we sit down with folks just like you for about 20 to 30 minutes and take down in writing as to what exactly it is that you're looking for in a home. That way we'll have a clear understanding of the kind of home that you're looking for and be able to send you all the properties that are a perfect match.
Right. Okay.
So,
yeah, I can tell you right now what we're looking for. You know, as I said, to a big degree, a lot of this has to do with price and, you know, what we're going to be able to afford based on what we're looking for. So I can tell you right now if you want.
well, rather than email you hundreds of homes, which may or may not match your home buying criteria, or risk missing out on the perfect one, if you can actually just get together for about 20 to 30 minutes, I have a form I fill out, and I can take down exactly what you're looking for. So when's a good time to meet? Days or evenings?
Where's your office?
All right, it's gonna be at in Milpitas. It's just gonna be pretty close to where you're at.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And one more
Okay.
thing.
Let me talk to my wife, and then I'll call you back, and we'll come up with a time.
Okay. Well, since I have you on the phone, why don't we go with a tentative appointment to take place at Saturday at 2 p.m. Is that gonna work for you?
No. No. I'm playing golf on Saturday.
I see. When's a good? Well, when are your days off? Just curious.
Yeah. Probably in not this coming week, but the week after probably would be the best time.
The week after?
I guess. Yeah, I don't have a
Okay.
day off till then, so it'll be like the following Monday.
The following
Bet
Monday.
you're sorry.
Okay.
Bet you're sorry you asked me now.
That's okay. Do you prefer it during the mornings or in the afternoon?
Oh yeah, no, I'm available all morning, so mornings are good.
Okay. What about next Monday at 10 a.m.?
Fine.
Okay. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can just give me a call back, or you can reply to my email.
Great. Okay, so just while that's fresh in our minds, I just wanted to a couple things. What I'm trying to do is show you how easily booking the appointment can go off the rails if you don't control the time of the appointment. So I know this is, we've gone over this before, but it really does work. Okay, what you want to say to the prospect is, what's best for you? Days, evenings, and if it's Thursday, you can say weekends. All right, because the weekend is coming up in a day or two, right? So here we go. So I say to you, if we're going to set a tentative time, what would be best? Days, evenings, or weekends? And you're going to say, apparently, I'm golfing on Saturday, but that doesn't mean I'm not available Sunday. You only offered me Saturday. You said to me, how about Saturday at 10 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever it was? No, that's a bad time. I'm not available. You didn't offer any other times, so I didn't, that wasn't on the table. What if you'd said this instead? What's best for you, days, evenings, or weekends? And I said, the weekends are good. And you said, what's better, Saturday or Sunday? And I said, well, I'm golfing on Saturday, so we better do it on Sunday. You would have had an appointment on Sunday. So this is why doing it this way, by giving options, is way better than just saying to them, when would be a good time? When do you have a day off? When would be a good time for us to get together? Right? You don't need a day off to meet with you for 20 minutes. It doesn't require a day off. So anyway, I want you to do that. Now, here's the other thing I also want you to do. I want you to make sure that you're emphasizing cost and obligation, right? What you're offering and what you're doing for them is great, but if they feel like there's cost and obligation attached to it, they're going to get cold feet and they're going to be thinking like, you know what, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that yet. Just make it easy. Make this real easy. You know, I'm listening to what you're telling me. I can help you by emailing you properties that match exactly what you're looking for. You know, what you're looking for is hard to find. I'm going to make it easier. There are properties that come on the market every day. I'm going to make sure you have email notification of all of those great deals as soon as they're available on the market. It is free. There's no obligation whatsoever. Would that be helpful? They're going to say yes to that. So that's what you need to work on a little bit. But again, cost and obligation is definitely can't be omitted. If you do, the prospects are going to be far more reluctant to agree to meet with you, as you'll see. All right, cool.
All right, got it. Thanks, James.
Thanks, Gerald. All right, who's next, Andrea? Hello.
Hello.
Is this Mario?
Yes, good morning.
Hey, how you doing, Mario?
Oh, if I was any better today, I would be twins.
Whoa, holy cow, you are good. My word. All right, well, in that case, this is twin number one. What information did I request?
Let's go with a Commissions Inc. Request to search for properties on my website. Ring, ring, ring.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, may I please speak with James?
This is James.
James, it's Mario Sconza calling from Remax Real Estate, and the reason for my call is because I received your request to search homes for sale online using our property search website, and as a courtesy, I want to let you know that we have opened up full access for you to continue searching. Is that okay?
Yeah. Thank you. What website was that now?
Search GTAareahomes.com.
Okay.
James, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, if we can find something.
Okay. And do you currently rent, or do you own your own home?
No, we own.
Okay, James, and are you preferring to buy before listing your home for sale, or do you want to sell first?
No, our home is going to sell. We're not worried about that at all. We're looking to find the right property. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now.
Okay, and are you looking at staying local or moving out of the area?
No, we've got a couple areas in mind. We've even got it down to like a few different neighborhoods that we're really interested in, but there's just, I don't know. There's not a lot of properties and they're not on the market for long. So yeah, if we find something, we'll definitely have to, move our feet. And we've been kind of dragging our feet a little bit here. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Okay. Do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
Yeah, we've got a friend in the business that'll help us. We've talked to them a little bit about it. So yeah, we're good as far as that goes. We're really just looking at properties, and we just wanted to make sure that we had access to everything that was out there.
Okay. Now, there's a vast difference today, James, between realtors and the services they offer, and most importantly, the results they receive for you, the client. Are you committed to your friend, or
what kind of differences can you offer that my friend can't?
Well, for instance, James, we have access to distressed sales, bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, for sale by owners, expired listings, standing builder inventory, MLS listings before they even go on the market, and listings that have recently been reduced by $100,000 or more, which indicates high levels of motivation on behalf of the sellers.
Yeah.
And this right here is a free service that we offer, and of course, you're never obligated to buy a home. Now, If you felt there was a benefit for you, would you be open to options, or are you committed and perhaps signed to a buyer agency agreement with your friend?
No, we're definitely open. You know, we've not made commitments to anybody, and we're not there yet.
Okay. By the way, are you looking at staying local, James, or moving out of the area?
No, we've got some neighborhoods in mind that we've been looking at, as I mentioned earlier.
Pardon me. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Pardon me, James. When can we get together here for about 20 minutes so I can take down exactly what you're looking for?
Well, if you want, I can tell you over the phone right now. I mean, obviously, as I said, we've got it really pared down to key areas that we're interested in, and some certain neighborhoods that we really like as well. So I can tell you if you want. If that's easier.
James, I really want to do a good job for you, and rather than me emailing you hundreds of homes which may or may not match your criteria, and most importantly for you, risk missing out on the perfect one, if we can get together for about 20 minutes, I have a form I fill out that includes about 79 different search criteria, and I can take down exactly what you're looking for so we find the best opportunity when it comes available. I'm flexible days, evenings, or weekends. What would work best for you for about 20 minutes?
The weekend's fine. In the mornings, Saturday or Sunday's good.
Okay. Do you want to say Saturday at 9 or Sunday at 11?
Saturday's fine.
Okay, great. Now.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That we can. You go ahead. I'm sorry, James.
Okay, so what I was listening for, and again, it's because when you get really good at describing the offer, what you neglect is that the offer is only good if you remove the threat attached to the offer. So tell me, what is attached to that offer? What would be the threat? What might I be afraid of in that appointment?
Cost and obligation.
Well, you mentioned nothing about cost and obligation. When I said I could do this over the phone and you said, well, I want to do a good job for you, sit down, I've got a form with 79 different bits of criteria on it. We can go through that. I'll do a good job. Never, ever mentioning it's free, there's no obligation, leave your wallet and checkbook at home. You've got to understand that the benefit, if I feel like there is a threat attached to the benefit, I might be reluctant. I might not be reluctant, but I might be reluctant to take you up on your offer. So let's just nip it and make sure that 100% of those that we make this offer to can focus exclusively on the benefit of this appointment. Okay, I think that's really, really important that you never forget. You've got to do that because you're so good at describing the benefit that it's all you're doing, and you need to do both. Okay, now here's something else that I want to talk about. When you're asking, do I have a realtor to help you when the time is right? Okay, I got to tell you that the way you answered that question was really good, but it may have been unnecessary. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. I say, hey, Mario, do you have a realtor to help you, when you're to look for your home or when the time is right? And you say, yeah, we know somebody. And the simple question is this. Are you 100% obligated to them, or are you 100% committed to working exclusively with just them? Have you committed to that? It's a yes or no question. And I would have just said, no, God, no, not at all. We know them. That's it. Done. Done. Now we move on. Done. So you don't necessarily have to bring up, there's a big difference. Now, I'm glad that we did, though, because I want everybody to hear what a masterful job you did of differentiating what you're offering. The thing is no matter what, whether the prospect objects or not, all that dialogue that you used, you still use that when you're making the offer. What you did was you laundry listed all the different properties that you have access to. And what you're presenting doubt is that there is nowhere else that I can get this information other than from you. That's what it sounds like to me. You're talking about properties that have been reduced in price. You're talking about builder properties. You're laundry listing all of these great deals. I've never even thought of these things before. The prospect is thinking, and you're laundry listing all these properties you have access to. Here's what I'm thinking. Mario's the only dude that has access to these properties. That's what it sounds like. So I'm very interested in that. So I thought that was beyond good. That was really, really effective. But you don't have to use that. I mean, you can use that dialogue when you're describing the offer to the prospect. When the prospect asks, "Do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?" You don't need to get into, "Have you signed a contract?" Just find out, are you obligated to them? Are you committed to them? And if they say yes, then you can say, well, there's a big difference between realtors and, what they do, what they offer, the results they get, what they charge. Are you open to interviewing other realtors? Are you open to the idea of using somebody else? Then they say, well, why? Like what? What can you do differently? Boom. You hit them with that. But, first of all, 9 times out of 10, do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right? No. The 1 or 2 out of 10 times where they say yes, the question is, are you 100% committed to working with them exclusively? That's it. That's the question. And here's what you'll find a lot of times. It's no. No, we're not committed to anybody. But that was really good, Mario. Really, really, really good.
I really appreciate that, and I want to let you know that I've benefited greatly from these calls, and especially when I had the opportunity to be coached by you. And that was, I want you to know that was scriptless, so I had no script in front of me. But the good news is I wasn't topless.
Oh God, that is good news. Yes, that is good news. I wish I could say the same.
Oh, lucky for you, man. Lucky for you.
Yeah, there you go. All right, thank you, Mario. Okay,
Thank
Andrew,
you
let's
very
take another. Actually, why don't we do this, Andrew? Do we have any questions in the queue? Any questions in the queue? Andrea,
We do. We do.
Okay, there we go.
Sorry.
You disappeared, or?
Nope. I hit the wrong button on my mic and it muted me instead of unmuting me. We do have several questions in the queue. This first from Hazel. How do we go about using the universal callback script with investors? Let's say they're not really moving, but they're looking for homes to be flipped or for investment.
Well, then I would argue they need your help even more. Okay, like think about this. We can use what the prospect tells us to help create a demand for what we're offering. Let me give you an example. Hazel, you mentioned that you're looking for an investment property. The problem that you're going to have is that investment properties go very quickly. If it's a good investment opportunity, whether that's a flip or whether it's an investment, a long-term investment property that's going to yield you a good return, they go very, very quickly. So it's imperative that you know about these opportunities immediately upon coming on the market. Not only that, but it's imperative that you know about the very best deals. Now, what are the very best deals? Well, very often they could be private listings, they could be pocket listings, they could be properties that have recently been reduced in price that are going to be in high demand. They are properties from all the different real estate companies. They might be bank foreclosures, company-owned, pre-foreclosure. All of these types of properties might be the perfect opportunity for your investment deal. If you know about these properties before other investors, you're going to be well ahead of the game. I have access to email you all of these properties. It's absolutely free. You're never obligated to buy any of them, obviously. But would that make your search helpful? Would that be a better way of doing it? Now, I'm pretty confident that the prospect, if they're a real investor, are going to say, yeah, that would be great. Okay, well, let's sit down together and go over the numbers. I want to know exactly what you're looking for in detail, and I also want to know what you're looking to achieve from this. All right, what your goals are. And if we can sit down for 15, 20 minutes, do a really good job of figuring out what you're looking for, I can make sure that you're receiving the right properties. Don't bring your wallet or checkbook. There is no cost to this. There's no obligation to buy anything, and I'm flexible. When's a good time for you to sit down with me? Days, evenings, something this weekend? What would be best? We're going to use what they tell us to help create a benefit for what we're offering them. You're an investor? Perfect. This is perfect for investors. You're a first-time home buyer? Perfect. This is perfect for first-time home buyers. Here's why. It doesn't matter the reason. We're going to use their situation to make this even more beneficial. for them. Great question, Hazel.
Okay, Sonia says, we book so many buyer appointments, but most of them cancel or don't show up. How to deal with the situation?
Well, I'll tell you, I know we've talked about this before, but I'll say this, is here are the key ingredients to appointments showing up. Okay, number one, the appointment has to be booked as close to the time that you're speaking to the prospect as you possibly can. The further away the appointment is, the less likely the appointment is to happen. Number two, you cannot reiterate enough that the appointment is free and that they're not obligated. If they feel like there's cost or obligation attached to the appointment, then yes, they get cold feet, and the morning of the appointment, they wake up and say, I must be crazy. I'm meeting with a salesperson who's going to charge me money. I'm nuts. Forget it. Okay, so you cannot emphasize enough. Number three, you need to make sure that they understand the reason for the appointment. In other words, you need to make sense of the appointment. And that, of course, is what we're practicing every Thursday here on the role play sessions, is practicing the universal script so that the prospect actually wants what you're offering. If they really want what you're offering, they're going to show up for it because they want it. But if they don't really want it because they don't really understand, then yeah, I would no show too. Like, if something else comes up, what am I missing out on? I don't really get it anyway. So how you articulate the benefit of this offer is imperative because it causes the prospect to either want it or not. All right, so those are the key ingredients that establish whether a prospect's actually going to show up or not. Who's next, Andrea? Let's take another chat question. We'll wrap up the chat questions, then we'll let everybody get on with their day. Hey, by the way, let me make, just before everyone jets, let me make another announcement. Please, any ads that you want us to take a look at, I don't know how many we have so far, Andrea, but whatever we've got, we'll take a look at tomorrow and critique all those ads. And Craig will be with us on the webinar tomorrow.
Right, and just as a quick reminder, when you load your ads, we can't accept PDF files, so they must be JPEG or PNG. If you can't figure out how to load it because you just have a PDF, just email me, Andrea@craigproctor.com, with your results, and I will get it loaded for you. We have Rob. I'm good with the scripts to set the appointment. I need more practice honing my listing presentation. Any suggestions?
Can you read that one more time?
Yes. Rob makes plenty of appointments, but what he really needs help with is honing his skills during the listing and buyer presentations. Where can he get help with that?
You can get help with that in a couple different ways. Okay, first of all, if you're talking about a forum like this, in other words, something that you'd like to discuss on one of our webinar sessions, the Monday morning helpline call. I want you to bring that up on the Monday morning helpline call. As a matter of fact, we'll put that to the top of the list, and we'll bullet point some of the key points with the presentations that you might want to be addressing or doing a better job of addressing and emphasizing in your presentations. Obviously, this is to do with booking the appointment in the first place. Thursdays are getting the appointment, not the appointment. So, but we'll address that. Now, the next thing I'd suggest is this. You need to email your coach and let them know on your next consultation, you really want to work on honing your presentation to make sure that you're setting yourself apart, that you're really creating a demand. And that is exactly what your coach is for. So between those two things, and the other thing, of course, is this. On the coaching website, there's plenty of resource material available that that revolves around your topic of interest. All right, including, of course, information about Craig's own listing presentation and how he transfers that onto you, and suggestions and advice and examples, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So lots and lots of resources on the website as well that I suggest that you sort of explore a little bit here, as Andrea is showing.
And my few suggestions are Monday's helpline is going to be the internet session with Success Website, so we really won't be able to go over those questions.
Yeah. Okay, but on a normal one, we would, yeah.
Right. On Wednesday, the 15th, we have our session 5 with Craig. Well, he was going to go over the entire buyer presentation. It's Craig Proctor's VIP buyer presentation, and that's Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Anybody can join. I'll make sure everybody's invited, but that's one of Craig's best ways of showing you guys what to do during the buyer presentation. And then a couple weeks after that, we'll have the listing presentation that he'll do live with you guys. So there's plenty of chances to really see how he does it and learn.
Awesome. Cool deal. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for your help. Thanks to everybody for volunteering today. Always appreciate it. And I hope you guys get a lot out of it and continue to volunteer and participate. And as long as that happens, we will always be here, just as we always have. Until tomorrow, thank you so much for participating, and we'll look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a wonderful afternoon, and talk to you all on tomorrow's marketing clinic. This officially ends the role play for today.